this drive by OU. Gordon, end zone, Oklahoma State.
Field again this year. To the Big 12 we go, down to Texas, where Oklahoma State, not necessarily a backdoor in, but made it really tough on themselves to get here. They could have just won a couple times. They could have just won in Orlando against UCF. Now we get beat by 42. We can just beat BYU at home. Yeah, we'll do that. But how about 2 overtimes to do it, right? The Pokes made it tough on themselves. They are a 13.5-point dog to the number 7 ranked Texas Longhorns with college football playoff aspirations on their mind. 11 a.m. Central Time on ABC. Usually one of the better conference title games every year. I think if you look back at how these games have gone, it's been a blast. Absolute blast. Parks, what do you think of this one between the Pokes and the Longhorns?
This is a very tough spot for me, fandom-wise. The Pokes are a de facto team of mine just because of their brand. Great sweatshirt, JP. And then I have one of my most hated teams from my lifetime in Texas. However, I have to mention, there was a part of me last week that really hoped that BYU could pull it off against the Pokes so we could get our Oklahoma-Texas rematch. I just think that's a better matchup. I don't know if this Oklahoma State team, who just got blown out by UCF, is ready for this different monster that we've seen from Texas, who goes in and blows the doors off Texas Tech on their way out. Hey, see you later. See you in the Big 12. We're going to go pound teams in the SEC. Well, maybe, but
we'll see.
They absolutely hook it to Texas Tech. So you couldn't find a hotter Texas team in this spot with, like you said, JP, postseason aspirations. I got to go with Texas in the number here. They're just too hot to stop. And I haven't seen enough from Oklahoma State the last couple of weeks to give me any confidence.
Shay, if you're the Big 12 expert, so I'm happy you go last. Reese, what do you got on this one?
As I've started to watch college football throughout the years, it's like teams look really – I've learned to not bet on the week before. You're getting different phases of different teams as the week goes along.
All right.
Oklahoma State has not looked great. Oklahoma State has not looked great the last couple of weeks. Texas looked phenomenal last week. I just think it's a spot where Texas is going to go in and they're going to play well. But I think Oklahoma State is going to be, 2 scores we got this thing at. Like, I think Oklahoma State will be able to keep this within 2 scores. That's prediction. I think Texas will win the game. I'd be shocked if they lose the game because they do have something to play for. They do have a shot to go to the college football title. But I think Oklahoma State keeps us in the number.
Shiver, you're pretty emphatic with the hand movements down there. I don't know if you you guys are seeing
slow
this.
down.
Shaper's the Big 10 expert, Big 12 expert. So
I'm the knower of most. Do you read my tag? I know most. I know more than everybody. So.
ATS, son of a bitch.
Yeah. When I look at Oklahoma State, and Reese, that's actually a great point. Most times I'd be like, don't base this off what you've recently seen the last week or two. But here's the deal. Texas is a completely different football team than previous years. They're way more locked in every single game. Like that ass whooping last week said it most. Like Texas Tech, a team who's hungry for 6 wins, a desperate team more than Texas is. Maybe this is a look ahead spot, and there was no sign of looking back for Texas. If I had a graph for Oklahoma State, it would be the fuck around and find out graph for them because guys, if you listen to my Iowa State stuff, this team's been zombie walking for the last 3 weeks. You forgot to mention JP. They only came within 7 points to Houston 2 weeks ago, not to mention their BYU debacle and their UCF just slacking. Last week, Texas had 4 different dudes get more than 5 carries, and they had nobody over 4 catches last week. So it just shows you they can do it all. They have so many different weapons. This team ranks 5th in rush defense. That's Oklahoma State's bread and butter. They struggled to run the ball on BYU. I have Oklahoma State's team under at 9.5 points on Saturday. So
holy shit, that's a low number for you to lay.
That's where you know I'm going with this.
I like Texas here too. Texas is the last team that I'm holding a ticket for national championship wise.
How many national championship tickets you got?
3.
Damn.
3.
Just
3.
He picked
3 more
for everybody.
down
the win.
I got 3 total. 3 total. It's all about value, fellas, and I found it at the right time.
Cash out for $5 more, baby.
It's way more than that right now, boy.
Money's
Let me
money.
tell you what. I'll take Texas here because of what Schaefer just said. I think the run defense will be able to slow down Ollie Gordon, and Oklahoma State's not going to go away from it. And if they do, can you take advantage of the secondary for Texas? Because a lot of these teams haven't been able to throughout the year. If you get predictable, if you're Gundy, if you get in a hole, what is your go-to? Because I can tell you right now, Texas gets up, they're just going to lean on the backs of all these running backs who are talented. They have 3 or 4 receivers on the edge who I was a big fan of throughout the year, and Whittington and Xavier Worthy and all these guys that could just make plays. I think it's too much. I think it's the wrong team at the right time for Oklahoma State. It's the makings of chaos is still here. This is where the Big 12 could screw themselves and really make a lot of Big 12 fans a lot happier if Texas loses this game. But I'll take the Horns in the 13.5. I believe it's 14.5.
14.
We have 13
We
and a
have
half
13
here,
and a half
but
on
it
the
didn't move up.
graphic, but 14.5 live.
How about we go 14 flat?
Sure.
Perfect.
Fine.
Awesome.
That's it.
Everybody have their ATS pick in. I don't remember if everybody gave theirs.
Oaks.
Texas.
Oklahoma State, Texas. So 3 Texas and Oklahoma State. Thanks for holding down the fort, Reese. I would say your ATS,
Winner
champion.
coming.
We should look, but that didn't happen. To the Mountain West.